guys, I'm coming to you from Winnemucca, Nevada. I'm right off of Highway 95. I found this sweet sand dune area. This is nothing but just sand dunes for like, I don't even know how far this goes. It goes like all the way up to these mountains though. This is like a huge sand dune area. And they got like, there's nobody here. I'm just here all by myself. And they got like, there's campsites all over the place. You can stay here for 14 days as far as I read. But usually you got to pay like a lot of money to do this. Okay, normally when you find a spot like this and they furnish like picnic tables, and there's actually bathrooms and more picnic tables, usually you got to pay at least $15 a night. Especially being out of state, it's going to be like probably $15 to $25 a night. But check this out. This is like, it goes on for a while. It just drops off into a bowl of just sand down there. There was people out here ripping around, but then as soon as I pulled in here, everybody left. So now I've got the entire place to myself, and they even have trash cans and everything else. So this is looking south. I'm gonna head into town here. Winnemucca is like probably 5 miles south of here. All right, so anyways, I'm just gonna knock the dust off my KLR and do a little trail ride into town. There's trails all over the place, so this is like the perfect location. I can't even believe I found this dune, but yeah, it's not too often that you can just find a huge area like this where you can camp, because it's hard to find a place with a camper and find like BLM land sometimes. So anyways, I'm just gonna do a little trail ride and check it out. All right, I thought I'd start my video at the old train station. This is how you get in and out on train through Amtrak. This is the Zephyr line. This one goes from San Francisco all the way to Chicago. And I'm just waiting for the train. They got the green light. Maybe you can see the green light. They're picking them up in Winnemucca at 6:25, I think. And it looks like the train, wait a minute, I don't even think this is the right train. This is a mixed manifest. This isn't the Zephyr yet. But we got some people, they're waiting. Maybe this is the Zephyr, I don't know. I'm gonna check this out. No, it's not, this is a double stack. Oops. Yeah, no, this is a double stack for sure. That's cool. Well, this one must have priority over the Zephyr. This guy is moving, that is for sure. He's not slowing down at all. Let's stop at this station. Usually freight trains like this, whichever one's going faster has priority. So I'm guessing the Zephyr had to pull over for this one to go by. Alright, I'm gonna wait for it. This one's a long one. Some of these are like 2 or 3 miles long. So I'm not gonna record this whole thing. I'll be right back when the Zephyr pulls up. Check out this big beauty. They got the baggage right behind the locomotives here. Then they got a whole bunch of double stacks. And I guess from San Francisco to Chicago, I think the tickets were around $700 a person. And you get your own little train hotel room. And that includes meals, coffee, and 2 nights on the train. Whoa, that was cool. No. Check this out. Oh, they're ready to move now. All right, looks like they're really taking off this time. There she goes. I think the next stop is Elko. And then it stops like 4 or 5 times in Utah. Goes through Colorado, Nebraska. Whoa. It seems like everybody's having dinner right now. There she goes. That's the end of it. See you later, Zephyr. Okay, I'm we're gonna get heading down the road. I just thought that was a cool stop because really, this whole city was built upon the railroad system. So I thought that was really neat. So, okay, off to my next stop. So as you're rolling into Winnemucca, okay, I'm right by the Humboldt River, and this is 95 heading north. And as I'm turning around, you're gonna head south on 95 to get into town, and this is like Interstate 80 that's going over me right now. This is like mile marker 178. But if you look at this Humboldt River, you wouldn't believe it, but there's actually like fish in here. I guess there's brown and rainbow trouts that are around here, people fish for all the time. But here's a couple facts I learned about the Humboldt River. So this thing runs about 330 miles, and it's named after Baron Alexander Humboldt, which was a German scientist. And believe it or not, he never even got to see this before he died. So that's just kind of some little interesting facts. But anyways, I'm gonna keep heading down the road here and see where Water Canyon is. It's right, I don't know, you just take, it's right off the main drag here. Pretty much anything in Winnemucca is right off the main drag, but I'm gonna go head up Water Canyon and check it out. All right guys, now I'm at Water Canyon. It's a 3-day max of camping here. 20 miles an hour and no shooting. Make sure you don't shoot. All right, so I'm gonna head up this very well-maintained road. This is probably one of the smoothest roads I've ever seen that heads way up into the canyons. All right, I made it to the top of Water Canyon Road. And it starts to get pretty rough. There's no way you're gonna get, well, maybe a Toyota Tacoma or something through here, but you're not gonna pull a camper, I doubt, through here. So I kind of left my bike kind of down the trail here, and I'm kind of surrounded by some of these, I don't know, these things are like, oh, these things are really sweet. It's like a sweet perfume. Anyways, I'm up by this creek. This is fresh water. This is about as fresh as it gets. You could totally, I'm sure you could drink this right now, but I would still boil it just to be safe. But this is about the freshest water you are going to find in Nevada, that's for sure. This is just straight snow melt. Yeah, we got a little creek crossing. That's not too bad. Crossing streams. Alright, anyways, this is, I don't know, I was going to take my bike up here, but I wasn't sure how steep it takes off. Some of these mountain roads it could just take straight off, so I didn't want to be in one of those situations where you're like stuck on a super steep incline. That's no fun, but there is like tons of stuff to see. You got these huge rock canyons way up yonder. That's always fun to climb. Doing some of those climbs. I didn't bring enough water though. Now that I see this cool walking trail, maybe I should have brought a ton more water. That's what they always say. I brought like 5 or 6 bottles, but I already drank 4 bottles. Oh. Alright, so this just keeps on going up, which is predicted. And I see snow. So, way up there, see that sliver of snow up there? That's where this creek's coming from, but it's like coming from all over the place. But it's melting off from all over the place. I would absolutely walk a lot, and I don't know, I think I'd walk a lot further if I had more water. But that's when it's nice to bring your camping supplies, because I could have easily brought my stainless steel boiling cup and my little jetpack to boil up some water. That's what I should have done. So in this situation, when you're up in the mountains, it's almost crucial to just bring some kind of water purification system. So either it be like some kind of like a filter straw, but then you got to replace those all the time. But I don't know, I think I'd rather just boil water, especially if it's this clean. I mean, this is about, it doesn't smell or anything. And it couldn't really, I mean, it couldn't be that stagnant if it's flying down the mountain like this. So it's not going to be like inhabited by like tons of mosquitoes, things like that. But yeah, this is just amazing. Look at some of these. Let me zoom out a little bit. This is just a great walk. I mean, you got all these huge canyons. They're all over the place. Yeah, Water Canyon. There was still like, I mean, there was probably, for camping spots, I would have to say there was probably 20 pull-off, maybe 30 or 40 little smaller ones for like tent camping. But there was easily enough for like maybe 15 campers, maybe, something like that, big turnarounds. And some people were sharing them too, like these big RV ones. So, okay. All right, so I'm gonna keep walking down this trail and head back into town, get some water. Also, when you're camping out in the sand dunes and the wind picks up, it got so windy. It's coming in like huge gusts. But there was like, I was just getting pelted with sand out here. Just something to, check this. Like, this is the road that I came in on. It is just sandy. That stuff is just blowing everywhere. And it's all the way, I mean, it's coming from like miles away. Wow, sometimes it really picks up, like right now. Check this out. Dude, I've never seen it so sandy before. Dude, this is about as sandy I've ever seen this. It kind of stings a little bit once it's hitting your ankles, just at like 60, 70 miles an hour, little tiny rocks and sand all over the place. I'm literally getting sandblasted here. But I thought I may as well hop outside and just make a quick video of how dusty it gets, because it is very dusty. I can almost taste it. Also, when you're out in the middle of nowhere, you're going to see a whole bunch of these pronghorn. Here's one of them. Just kind of checking me out. And then there's like a few more running here. They're taking off, that's for sure. There's the last one. It must be a whole family or something like that. They're right on the edge of this barbed wire fence earlier, so I just wanted to make sure I stopped and got a good picture of them this time. Now here's a close-up of what these Mormon crickets look like. Oh, they're so big. They got one, like, they're crawling underneath my camper every once in a while. They're not harmful. A lot of things eat them. I guess coyotes, all kinds of birds and reptiles. But these things are really huge. I don't know if he'll jump in my hand. No, he doesn't like that. He's just a little fella. But these are the things that are like, gosh, I would have to say trillions. I wouldn't even say millions or billions, but I mean, these things are like, there are trillions of these things all over the highways. And they don't move very fast. Sometimes they chirp. But most of the time they just jump around really slowly. And when they're crossing the street, chances are they never make it all the way across, because they're just smeared all over the place from people just running them all over. So yeah, that's just a little something you're gonna see in the probably spring to early summertime. Seems like they're migrating in a lot of these lowlands, or wherever there's water, really. Because whenever I like dump water out, like if I'm cooking or something like that, I'll check later, and sure enough, there's these Mormon crickets like enjoying their water bath, I guess, or whatever. They like water. So anyways, yeah, that's just something you're gonna see if you're out near Utah or Nevada, that's for sure. They're kind of overrun by them. Okay. All right, now it's almost the end of the day, and this is when you start seeing things migrating, like little birds, sometimes little snakes too. And right in front of me here, there's like it's called a gopher snake. These things don't really eat anything other than small rodents. This thing only gets about 2 feet long. You know, there's nothing dangerous about a gopher snake or a Pacific gopher snake, but you don't see them every day, so I thought I'd throw that on the video, that's for sure, because a lot of people, sometimes they ask on these forums, they take pictures of these little snakes and they think they're like little rattlesnakes or something, but that's just a little gopher snake, and they just eat little rodents, and I think maybe even these Mormon crickets, hopefully. Now I'm on the top of Mount Winnemucca. Okay, this is like about 6,400 feet up, and Winnemucca down there is about 2,000 feet lower. Anyways, I thought this was a cool little stop. They got their radio FM receiver tower, or whatever some of these are. These are all for like TV and radio broadcasting. But I thought this was a great vantage point of pretty much the entire city of Winnemucca. You got the Humboldt River over here. That snakes through, oh gosh, I think it's over 330 miles. And then way out there is Water Canyon. That's where I was earlier, and I went way up to almost just below where the snow is. And that was quite a hike. Winnemucca is definitely a very nice town. It's got a lot of small business. There's about 8,000 people that live in Winnemucca. And for having 8,000 people living in a town, you'd think they would have a lot less to offer, but really they have a ton of restaurants to offer, and they even have a movie theater, which is almost unheard of for a city of that size. So I thought it was definitely worth the stop. It's got a lot of history. Back in, I think, 1860, Chief Winnemucca was around in the area, and he was kind of in charge of like the Paiute and the Shoshone Indian tribe, as far as I know. And Chief Winnemucca's daughter, which was Sarah Winnemucca, she was kind of an educated gal, and she would like teach, she was an interpreter for the natives so they could learn each other's language back and forth. And she even wrote a book back in, I think it was 1860, something like that. Don't quote me on that, but there's a lot of like native history around here. So there's a lot of respect for just the land in general in here. I mean, it's so beautiful. There's so many opportunities to just go trek up a mountain somewhere. I mean, I gained almost 2,000 elevation on my motorcycle in like 5 minutes just coming up here. So, I mean, it's just a beautiful spot. So I was gonna head back into town and get some grub and just make a few stops in town and show off what they have to offer in Winnemucca, Nevada. So when you're cruising around Winnemucca downtown, you're gonna see all kinds of like restaurants, there's hotels, there's plenty of spots to stay and plenty of places to spend your money too. There's many casinos around. I'm right across from Winnemucca Casino and restaurant. Right down the road here, there's even a movie theater in this small little town. They got King Planets of the Apes and the Garfield movie. And how often do you see a movie theater in a town that has 8,000 people? So I thought that was pretty cool, but there's plenty of small business right down the main drag here. So I thought that was worth the stop. And just come check it out for yourself. This is a great place. There's many casinos down the way here. So the main city is about 8 square miles, and it's sitting around 4,000 feet in elevation. But it is definitely worth the stop. There's plenty of restaurants, plenty of things to keep you busy. There's lots of parks. I mean, I think there's at least 6 city parks. So yeah, just come on down and check it out for yourself. You're gonna love it. Just saw the taco truck. I had to stop and get a burrito. Alright, here's what you get for $13. So that's not too bad. It's got guac, sour cream, nice sauce. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait because I am starving. Also, if going out to restaurants isn't your thing, they also have a very nice selection in their grocery store. It's called Ridley's. They got an Ace Hardware, which they sell like all kinds of stuff. They sell guns, I think, chainsaws. And then way far away, they got another hotel. They got like a pig barbecue place, AutoZone. I'm just going in a circle here. They got, what else do they got here in Winnemucca? They got, oh yeah, they got the Parker's Model T Casino. Pretty much any casino, you're gonna be able to get dinner It's the full thing. Most of them are restaurants, motels, they do it all. So just something else to check out when you're in Winnemucca. And another stop along the way in Winnemucca is the shooting range. They've got a very nice layout here. They've got a nice concrete pad they just made. I imagine they're gonna make like a little structure so you're in the shade here, and probably drag these tables right on that concrete or something like that. But this is nice. It's got a nice sturdy tables to shoot off of, set your stuff down on, and it's right next to the landfill. So this is just kind of up in a canyon, sort of. But they got other ranges way down here, and they got shotgun, archery spots, all kinds of stuff. So I just wanted to knock the dust off my Glock 43. I barely ever shoot this thing, but it's a nice little pocket gun. All right, I'm gonna try about 20 yards and see. Hey, that's not too bad. All right, guys, I think it's time to call it a day and head down the road. So since it's gonna be almost 100 or 110 in Winnemucca for the next week or two, I'm gonna head up to Oregon and check out some cool trails up there and hopefully find some streams or mountain trails, maybe some national forest. There's a lot of forestry trails up in Oregon and Idaho, so I'm gonna head up that way and see what else I can see. Until then, you guys keep having a great day and take care. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, thanks. You guys take care.